So the main staircase in the hotel connects the main lobby to the second floor. And some believe that it's kind of a portal for all of what they believe to be the spiritual energy that exists here in the hotel. Now, one of the reasons, some people have speculated that they have mirrors on either side of the stairway that reflect each other or that reflect what's happening on either side. So it creates kind of this vortex or portal. And they reflect perfectly 3 to 4 times, and then everything gets distorted really quickly. Some believe that that's why. The really interesting thing, this was on a tour. This was a guest tour in 2016. And the girl on the stairs was not, you'll notice that the people kind of sitting around waiting aren't even, glancing in her direction. At least I think it's a girl. That's what it appears to be to me.
It almost looks like she's coming through the reflection of the light, or like the reflection of the light through the lens is like casting her almost like a, what's it called when?
Hologram.
Thank you, hologram. See, I knew you'd know.
Yeah.
Almost like a hologram, right?
Yeah. You look, and then
is that a special ghost cam?
No,
it's just a regular camera.
Yeah, it was just somebody on the tour that took a picture.
It's probably like their family down there. They're like, "Oh, I want to get a picture of my family on this tour," and then they caught a ghost.
Wow.
You know what's so interesting about this, though, that as blurry as it is, I can still make out that it's something. It looks like
she's definitely
wearing a white dress.
Yeah, it looks like a little girl wearing a white dress or a nightgown or something. Like her feet look like they're wearing slippers or little ballet slippers or something. It's creepy.
Yeah.
She's got blonde hair.
Yeah, well, it looks like she maybe has dark hair, but it looks longer. And it looks like she's coming up the stairs, right? Doesn't it look like she's coming up to join the group?
Yeah, walking up the stairs, and that her left shoulder, you can see the carpet through it almost.
Yeah.
And we're sure this isn't Photoshop.
We are.
Are we sure about anything? Yeah. We're not sure about anything.
Yeah. I'm curious what the people are watching. What do you guys think about that?
Well, Tony thinks we're tripping, but
we're tripping. It's weird. I mean, it's like the light beams from the light, like they go right through her head.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah, and you notice nobody else is actually looking that way. Everybody's just kind of like.
It's because she's not actually there. She only showed up in the camera, right? Yeah, that's what I think. Anyways, this is definitely a ghost, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a ghost.
Well, an apparition of something.
100%.
But I'm a believer in ghosts, and our viewers should know that by all of the crap that they've made me watch. 100% believer in ghosts.
I'm just looking in the comments here. Are there records of the little girl passing away? There are a couple of records, or a couple of, I don't know, when ghost teams have been there. But I don't think there's any little girl that I read about.
No, I feel like I read a lot about the like housekeeper or the maid or that died there. Yeah. She's
a homeless woman. Yeah,
a homeless woman. Okay,
but this might be a woman. It just might be
a short woman,
right?
Just a very short woman.
Short.
She forgot to tuck in her t-shirt, and it just got a little long.
Because is she in her nightgown? That's what I want to know. Is it a nightgown? Is it of that time period? Is she wearing a ball gown? Like, what is it?
So, contrary to The Shining, though, there wasn't any murders or anything that happened actually at the hotel.
No,
there was that explosion that killed that housekeeper.
Wait, no, she didn't die. She just broke her feet or something like that.
That is correct.
Oh, she didn't die?
No, she did not die. We'll talk about that.
How do you get blown through the floor of a building and not die?
So let's hold that for a second. We'll talk about
Okay.
that. That leads into our Stephen King conversation. Yeah, no, I know. She was lucky to have survived. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the concert hall. So, do we have another picture of this? Where's this it? Oh, well, let's go back one. Okay, so here's the concert hall. I can't really see it real well here, but this was built for Stanley's wife, F.O. Stanley's wife, Flora. She loved to play the piano. And this is where she spent a lot of her time in the hotel. So they still use this to this day, the concert at the Stanley Hotel. The interesting thing about this is the one area in the hotel that has the most paranormal activity. It's where people can hear people still playing the piano, lots of voices, lots of like people together having a good time that aren't there. Which I think is really interesting. She seems to frequent this place often, Flora.
Yeah, and they hear her playing the piano, yeah.
They hear her playing the piano, yeah. And they hear her playing after hours, playing the piano, which is...
And she's a friendly ghost.
I believe she's friendly, yeah. I believe she is... Yeah.
She just likes to play piano for people, you know? She just loves to play a little ditty.
That would be interesting for sure. Okay, let's talk about the fourth floor. But before we do that, let's go to the next slide. There is another disincarnate picture, another ghost picture. Yeah, so here we are at the top of the staircase. Okay, the main staircase. You can't really see the mirrors real well. But
no,
this
the mirror thing.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I interject here? So,
sure.
Do you think that they think that the mirrors are creating the portal, or how is? Because now I'm questioning whether or not I should hang mirrors in my house. Like
the accounts that I've read say that it helps amplify the energy. The mirrors on either side. And then it creates three distinct reflections, and then the reflections get distorted. So they believe that it helps amplify what's happening there. They have called it a portal space. Now, this picture is really interesting because this woman that I believe is a woman, she looks like she's from maybe the turn of the century. She looks like she has maybe a long dress on with a white bib.
Yeah, sort of maybe like a little doily or something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is really distinct.
It's creepy as shit.
Tony thinks it's Photoshop.
Tony thinks everything's Photoshop. And you know what, Tony? It might be.
It might be. Yeah, it might be, Tony. You might be right. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just curious, like, what is she doing? Like, she's just standing there, like.
She looks like she's just like headed down the stairs. Like, I'm just headed to the ballroom for a little dance.
So Jason says, of course, we know nothing of the workers who may have passed away during the hotel's construction. Yes, very good point. We don't know. We don't have. Yeah. I did a lot of digging, and I did not find those details.
Yes. Thomas just made mention that he thinks the black dress, it looks a bit like Stanley's wife. I wonder if we go back to that picture of Stanley's wife that was hanging on the wall.
Oh, good job, Thomas.
If there's similarities there. Oh, it's very high collar.
It is. But,
us ladies, we love a black dress. So
those little black dresses. You weren't real little back then, though. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, it could have been the ghost in her nightgown.
Okay, so Aaron Two Spirit said, I thought ghosts only haunted places they died in.
Oh, great point. Yes.
What do you have to think about that, Karen?
Not always. They can be residual energy that's there. Maybe they visited there. It's not necessarily where they've died.
Yeah, especially since that maid that didn't die just broke her feet. They claim that she's the one that does most of the hauntings in some of those
She
rooms,
did not.
right?
Yeah, and she did not die there. She lived close there. She lived in Estes Park, and she died in Estes Park. But she did not die at the Stanley Hotel. But they do believe she haunts the Stanley Hotel. We'll get to her in a second.